video we'll go over how to export all of the zip codes within territories. Uh, Zip codes are made up of two different types. There's boundary zip codes that have a geographic area associated with them. They're like the zip codes that we all know that typically are represented around a town. And then there's also point zip codes. Point zip codes represent bulk mail delivery points for large facilities like an assisted living center, military installations, hospitals, and schools. You may have several points zip codes within a boundary zip code. So I'm going to show you how to add all of the zip codes, boundaries, and points, and then export a list based on territory. So what I've done here is I've created 3 territories for Michigan, and I want to export all of those zip codes. So in order to do so, I'm going to go up to the top here, and I'm going to click on Plot Data on Map. With Map Business Online, we give you quite a bit of extra data associated with the program, and so from this pull-down list, you can just choose Public Data. You notice that we have cities and towns and schools, and at the bottom we have zip codes. We'll just choose the most recent one and click Next and add them to our map. This is going to be all of the boundary zip codes as well as the point zip codes in the United States, and I'll just make these a little bit smaller. Now that we have these zip codes added to the map, you'll notice that some of them are going to be point and some are going to be boundary. The next thing I'm going to do is take this list of point zip codes and add a territory column to them. You'll see after I added this layer to the map, it's also located over here in our map and data box. This is the layer I'm working with from the pull down list. I'm using this point layer rather than the green zip5 code layer. So what I'm going to do to add my territory column is go to the lower right hand corner and click on More Data. From here, I'm going to grab my territory column and I'm going to add it to the columns that show in my data window. Once I make it jump over, then I can press the up arrow towards the top, and that'll move it to the left-hand side of my data window. Once I click Set Data Columns, you'll see that I have that listed here. So now I have territory, and many of these are blank because I'm not looking at Puerto Rico or New York. So if I want to isolate just those within my territories, I'm going to then go up to my data filter data rows button. Kind of looks like a funnel. And if I only want to find those zip codes that have a territory associated with it, I'm going to query my territory column. So I'll just choose that from the pull down list, and the next thing we do is click on this top value here. There's many different tools here if you want to find an exact match or not equal to or contains. In this case, I want to grab all of the zip codes that are part of a territory. So I'm going to do greater than, and I'm going to just make it 0 so it gets rid of all of those empty values. I'll click Filter, and now I'm left with just the zip codes, boundary and point, and I have my territory name listed here as well. If I want to remove all the other points from the map, I can click this Filter Data on Map button, and all the other points go away. Now, if I want to export this list, I can click on this button here, and I can choose to export it as a CSV. That CSV will contain all of the zip codes, boundary and point, broken up by territory. So we have Lower Michigan 1, 2, and UP territory. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, check us out at mapbusinessonline.com and check out our free trial.